Hello, everyone. Welcome to an impromptu live stream. I decided to do this last minute. Let me know that you're here by saying hello in the chat. And we'll get started in a few minutes. We're going to wait for some people to hop in. So let me know that you are here. And we're going to have a replay. So if you're missing this, we are going to have a replay. So what we're doing today is a full moon in Capricorn reading, and we're going to look at the masculine and feminine energies as well. So we're going to kind of roll it all into one. Hoping to channel for about an hour, but we'll see. We'll do a chat as well. I miss doing these. We used to do these all the time, these live streams. It's been a while. So yeah, let's get chatting. It's been quite a while. How is everybody doing? We're in the energy of the full moon, the super full moon in Capricorn right now tonight. How are you guys doing? How are you hanging in there? Let me know. For me, it's been good. I'm a Capricorn rising. I've been feeling pretty good, albeit a little bit emotional. And it didn't kick in until this afternoon, the emotions. Not sure what those emotions are, but I'm just allowing myself to feel it and just kind of rolling with it. You know, what else can you do but just kind of surrender to it? If you're here, let me know. Say hi in the chat. I'm not going to be able to see comments till later, but say hello in the chat and, let me know how you're doing with this full moon. We'll get to the reading in a few minutes. I just want to give people time to hop on. I know a little bit of an impromptu thing. I had planned I had planned on doing a sacred, hey Nix. I had planned on doing a sacred channeling around Susan Dawn Ascension Connections around this energy. And I had planned on doing a Sacred Union energy update. All of a sudden, it's like, just do a live stream. And I do live streams with personal channeling for my Patreon subscribers. But I really wanted to do one tonight with all of you, with the larger community. So really excited to be doing this. It's been, like I said, it's been a long time since we've done a live stream. Let me know how the full moon in Capricorn is treating you guys. Feels like it's going to be a game changer. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. I'm going to, if you guys missed the channelings that I've done the past couple of days, we're going to recap those. Then I think we're going to dive into the masculine and the feminine energies. Now, I have been kind of detached. I'm on a little bit of a hiatus. I'm going through a lot of upgrades. I'm going through a lot of personal growth, expansion, and ascension. So I don't know what's going on with the counterparts, aside from my own experiences. So it's going to be interesting to see where both counterparts are through the channeling. It's interesting too because I was talking with a friend, and sometimes I'm not able to trust what I'm seeing in my physical world. Sometimes I'm not able to trust my own journey, but I do trust the channeling that I receive, as difficult as it is, because sometimes the channeling doesn't always line up with what I feel like I'm experiencing, or I should say, the evidence that I'm experiencing. But as we know, the outside evidence, the outside experience is illusion. You hold it all inside. And when I really allow myself to trust my heart, I trust the channeling. I trust what I'm receiving energetically. And it's not always easy to it's not always easy to believe when the physical world kind of portrays something else, but I really feel like that's coming into balance now, especially for the divine feminines. It really feels like this past year has been about continuing to trust the intuition, continuing to embody that energy, and it's certainly been interesting. You've been feeling detached. Yeah. I've been feeling, I don't know how I've been feeling. Detached, but in a healthy way. Detached, but not in a way, detached with attachment, I guess you can call it. The heart's been open again, and I don't know which way I prefer. I don't really know which way I prefer. Sometimes I think the detachment is easier than feeling all of this love and not knowing where to go with it, especially for these connections, but it is what it is. In a healthier way. Yeah, it definitely feels much, much healthier. Yep, absolutely. All right, shall we get into it? People will be popping in and out, so we'll just get into it, and we will have a replay. And I am going to, take some of these messages as we get it, and do some collective messages, some replays as well. So let's recap the essential energies. And again, apply it to your sacred partnership, apply it to yourself and your own ascension, because you are on your own journey of ascension. Trust, whatever resonates for you. Okay, so first thing, a couple of days ago, when was this? Oh, that was yesterday. Okay. I had pulled three cards. It was the Two of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Strength card. And the message was, I don't have it right with me, but there was a volcano, the Two of Wands card. And what I had said, that this really felt like it was this full moon in Capricorn that we're experiencing, the super full moon. And the super full moon brings in, it's almost like eclipse energy. It's very potent, very powerful, creating major shifts. And what this actually feels like they're bringing in now is, it really feels like a turning point. Now, we've had little turning points over the past several weeks, the past several months, especially with the solstices, especially with the full moons, new moons, and all the cosmic energy and portals that we've been experiencing. But this really feels like a major turning point. I know we're in July. It's, the seventh month already. We're already more than halfway through the year. They're actually giving it to me like this is the halfway point. It really feels like the first half of the year we were experiencing a certain kind of energy, doing a lot of releasing. And it really feels like the latter half of the year is going to be about embodying that, embracing that, and really manifesting, creating, and anchoring in the new energy. Now, this could be new relationships, this could be new career, finances, home life, whatever this is, even just new energy within yourself. But it really feels like there's this, like this is the doorway, and like we're walking through this doorway between the old and the new. And we had been in this transitory energy, but this really feels, this energy that we're in right now, especially with this full moon, it really feels like this is, for lack of a better word, the after. Like what comes next is the after effects of all the releasing and all the energy that we have been letting go of. So, we have been talking about the destruction to creation energy, how destruction and creation was kind of happening simultaneously. That energy is coming to its apex right now. In the lead up to this full moon, you may have been continuing to release old energy that still clung to the outdated version of yourself. Clarity was received, beliefs were reviewed, patterns were shifted. Old pain and trauma, which were steeped in illusion, were coming back around for further reflection. We have channeled that in the full circle moments channeling. Particularly with the watery energy of this Cancer season, you may have been more emotional than usual and had trouble grounding your energy. This was because you were meant to feel your emotions versus bypassing them. Lots of inner reflection, awareness, and self actualization may have taken place. This was all necessary to close out that chapter, that old version of self, as you embrace and embody the new, including anything in your physical experience you're manifesting from this new entire frequency and personal embodiment. So, what I was hearing then was the path is being chosen now. And that's kind of like that doorway energy that I was getting. Anything not aligned to the path you wish to create is being expelled. And I was getting magician energy. So, your strength as a manifester and creator of your own physical experience is being emphasized. Keep your focus on your personal journey. What is your highest timeline? What do you experience for yourself? Which path do you wish to choose for the next chapter of your life? Are your patterns going to replay the old cycle, or do you wish to create a new reality? The choice truly is yours. Your hard work and dedication is required now, but it will have immense payoffs for the foundation that you're creating. So then today we had channeled a little bit more, and we're going to get into reading in a minute. But today we had channeled a little bit more about this energy. We had said that this super full moon that we're experiencing now is really hypercharged with powerful supportive energies for our soul growth journeys. Endings and beginnings have been in a transitory state for a while, a process of releasing the old while simultaneously embracing and embodying the new. This isn't just external changes, though it could apply to relationships, career, family, home life, things like that. But this was about internal growth, with karma being cleared to welcome you into an authentic state of being. I was getting a lot of Jupiter energy with this full moon, prosperity, abundance, good luck, all within reach. Personal resolutions will be reached, fears will be overcome, self expression and communication will be highlighted. I'm also hearing the phrase howling at the moon with an energy of asserting yourself, not with dominance, but with confidence and heart. So, to make the most of this energy, yourself where pride and or fear is holding you back from creating the life that you desire, the wishes in your heart, and what outdated versions of yourself need to be released in order to anchor into the new version of who you want to be. How are you claiming that version of yourself within yourself? Are you allowing change and transformation to take root? And are you blocking your new beginnings that is attempting to blossom? Shadow work and lighthearted energy in balance will be beneficial through this energy. So, a lot is happening right now. You actually might be called to rest. You might be called to a little bit of a break. You might be called to just step aside and just allow whatever it is that's happening to happen, without forcing anything, without controlling anything, without even trying to navigate it yourself. And that is all because there's so much that is shifting energetically. And what we're beginning to see with this latter half, remember when I said it's like almost like there's a before and there's an after, and this full moon in Capricorn is leading us into the after energy, and that's going to be all about the physical manifestation. So we were aligning everything energetically. This really feels like we are aligning or bringing it all in energetically, or physically. All right, so let's get to the cards now. Let's see what else they want to say about this full moon in Capricorn, either for Ascension or for Sacred Partners. We are going to pull some cards for the masculine and the feminine energies. All right. All right, let's see what's happening here. We have the card boundaries. Actually, what I'm getting is confirmation of this kind of, you see how she's kind of like in a bubble? It's like confirmation of this like before and after effect. It's almost like you were in a bubble before with endings and releases. There was a lot of protective energy that was around you, whether you knew it or not. There was a lot of protective energy around you, as you were going through this cycle, as you were going through this change. And what's happening now is it's almost like you're coming out of your cocoon, coming out of your chrysalis, out of that bubble. You're still protected, you're still really divinely guided, but hey Melissa, but this is really going to be this new chapter, new cycle, new phase. There really is this split, this before and after energy that's coming through here. All right, glad you made it. All right, let's see what else we've got. We have patience and we have the path. So here we have that kind of like portal energy. So allow yourself to have patience because it is still unfolding. And what I'm getting is that before and after energy. So we have been moving through this transition period of moving through the endings, moving through the releases, and moving into the new version. So like I said, it really feels like there's this doorway that's opening. For this new phase, for this new path. But allow yourself to have patience. Allow this energy to align. Don't force anything. Don't try to, again, control anything. Just allow yourself to really let this energy align. You're on the path here. You really are on the path here. Okay, they're bringing in the counterpart energy. So I feel like we're going to go directly into that. So take it as it resonates for you. Again, take it for your own soul growth journey, or take it if you're in this partnership, then it is the sacred union path that you're taking for your ascension journey. I feel like allow yourself to maintain your boundaries, allow yourself to keep honoring yourself, not abandoning yourself. Really recognize that you are on the right path, even if it feels like nothing is happening, even if it feels like, either nothing's happening in your connection or nothing's happening in your own life. Trust, have patience, trust that you are still on this path. Again, there is so much energy that is aligning right now. There is so much that is happening energetically. Allow yourself to trust that. The Lionsgate energy is going to be major energy as far as creating the physical. So you're going to start seeing the physical manifestations of this. Some of you may have already been seeing physical manifestations, changes in your relationship, changes in your family dynamics, changes in finances, changes in career, home life. You might have already begun to see the difference. Okay, let's pull back for a minute, because what they're giving me is you are in a new energy. You are in a new version of yourself. And so, of course, what we've been channeling is, of course, your physical world has to change to reflect that. So you're going to start seeing the evidence. Some of you already have been seeing that evidence of new changes in your physical world. More prosperity, more abundance, more, again, that Jupiter energy, more luck. Although it's not luck, it is your creation. You are creating because you are a powerful manifester. You are the magician of your own life. This is your world. This is your universe. Collectively, yes, but also you create your life, and the next person creates their life, and collectively we create the world. And so you're in this new and higher frequency, and so you're creating your highest timeline. You're manifesting from your highest timeline, from your highest frequency. You're creating your highest timeline, and from that highest timeline you are manifesting physical changes, physical experiences in your physical form. So allow yourself to trust how this is all unfolding. You don't have to plan. You don't have to wait for anything. You don't have to try to force anything or control anything. It's all coming true. You're attracting it to you. All right. I'm curious to see what's going on with the masculine and feminine energies. So let's see what's going on there. We're going to get this deck. And we're going to get this deck. And I'm going to see what you guys are writing in the comments. Yes, lots and lots of rest. I actually took myself to the beach because I was feeling so restless and I needed to just rest and relax and feel at peace. And that was exactly what I needed. This rejuvenation energy is really, really coming through. Allow yourself, because there's so much energy. There is so much energy at play here. And our jobs as light workers is to hold that space, hold that light, especially when there's so much chaos and fear and collective energy that is shifting. Not only is the energy within you shifting, but the energy within the collective is shifting, on this planet is shifting. It's the macro to the micro to the macro. It all affects, we affect each other. And so allowing yourself to rest, allowing yourself to renew yourself, a lot of self-care and self-love actually has a positive impact for the greater collective. You can't pour from an empty cup, they're saying. You can't pour from an empty cup, as we know. That's part of what this journey really teaches us. The more we individually maintain our high frequency and high vibrations, the more we're able to help the global collective. And it impacts everything. So the more work we do, as we know, the more work we do on ourselves, the more it has an impact on our connections or, counterparts or our relationships, whether it's family, friends, soulmates, whatever it is. And then the more we have that impact within ourselves and our families, the more it actually ripples out to affect the whole world. Okay. I'm not used to doing these live streams anymore, man. I think I get too distracted now. You're at a gas station, you're on oh gosh, Melissa. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Okay. All right, we're going to start with the masculine energy. We're going to start with the masculine energy and see what's going on with the masculine. Whew. I feel like I'm like, I don't know if you guys can see my cheeks, but I feel like I'm having like heat wave or something. There's a lot of energy that is brewing here. All right. What is going on with the masculine energy right now? Please, Spirit, what is going on with the masculine energy right now? What I'm actually seeing is like, and I don't feel like this is separation at all, but it almost feels like both counterparts are in their individual corners with this full moon, because there's a lot that is being processed. There's a lot of insight, intuition, and information that's being received, that's being downloaded. There's a lot of light codes that's being received as well. I'm also hearing dreams might be very active, whether you're dreaming about each other or whether you're just having dreams in general. There's a lot that is happening energetically. I'm actually seeing counterparts energetically coming together in dream state, to do a lot of collective energy work, to do a lot of alignment. And that's what you're here for. You know, you are here as counterparts for the ascension, for the uplifting of the planet. And that's what you're doing energetically in the higher realms. It might not look like it in the physical, again, that evidence, but that's where you have to really trust what's going on within yourself. That's where you have to trust the energy. That's where you have to trust what it is that you're receiving versus what they're actually saying is see with your third eye rather than seeing with your physical eyes. And that can be really disheartening, can be really difficult. That's where we have learned to really self-master on this journey, to trust what we are feeling energetically versus what they might be saying or what they might be doing or the lack that we might be experiencing, the separation that we might be experiencing. But as we know, the separation really is just the illusion that you are always in union with your partner, you're always in union with your counterpart, and as such you are always doing this energetically together, even if it doesn't feel like it in the physical world. And so there's a lot that is happening right now in the higher realms. There's a lot that is happening energetically. There's a lot that's happening in dream state as well, that you guys are coming together. You're always together, but you're coming together. And I'm hearing shifting things. You're shifting the energy for the collective. Again, there will be more physical manifestations, for lack of a better word, um, as we progress along this journey. And that's going to look a little bit different for everybody. For some, it's going to be communication. For some, it's going to be meeting other soul family. For some, it's going to be meeting a new partner that's going to help you further along your journey. For others, it's going to be commitment, where you're going to be in mission together, where you're going to be in partnership together, where you're going to be in relationship together. But it's all for the ascension. It's all for the expansion, and it's all for the growth of the global collective as well. Lots of collective energy coming through here. A lot of ascension energy coming through here tonight. All right, Spirit, what's going on with the masculines? What's going on with the masculine energy, please? What's going on with the masculines? So you might be this individually, like in your separate corners kind of energy. It doesn't mean that you are not experiencing each other. It doesn't mean that you are not still loving each other. It doesn't mean that you are not still in union. It just means that you are focused on your individual paths, whatever it is that you are healing, whatever it is that you are working on. We're going to get deeper into that because I'm curious what's going on here. Spirit, please, what's going on for the masculine? What's going on for the masculine, please? All right, so we have the Devil as the first card out. We have the Strength card, and we have the Sun. What this tells me is the masculine is working very hard to overcome. What they're saying is ego. They're overcoming ego, overcoming attachments. This could be attachments to mindsets, beliefs, patterns, traumas, addictions. But this is all that is ego. All that stems from ego. But they are really working on, I'm hearing the phrase like taming the ego. They're really working on overcoming this. And they have the strength to do this. What I'm hearing is they didn't realize before how strong they were. They didn't realize that they had the strength to do this. They're recognizing this now. They're recognizing that they can have a different path for themselves, that they can have a different life. that they don't have to be stuck in this energy. This was their own pain. This was their own distortion, beliefs that they carried, especially through childhood. They didn't realize that they could actually have this, that they could actually create this and manifest this. What I'm actually hearing is every time I tried to create this happiness, it fell through. It's almost like the other shoe dropped. I'm actually seeing like a shoe dropping. What I'm actually hearing is it's like what's the phrase? They're not bringing it to me right. It's like the the not the roof, the floor fell out from beneath me. That's what it is. The floor fell out from beneath me. It's like every time they tried to build themselves up, every time they tried to build a foundation for themselves, it felt like the floor fell out beneath them. No, the rug. That's what it is. Thank you. Okay, the rug was pulled from out beneath them, and they tumbled and they fell and they felt defeated. And it's like, how many times do I have to go through that? But spirit's coming through and they're saying, as long as it took for you to really understand that you don't have to stay stuck in this, that you can create this because you have the strength, because this is you. And what I love about this is it is the feminine with the masculine. It is recognizing the feminine. The more they honor the feminine within themselves and as their counterpart, the more they're recognizing that their life feels complete, the more they're recognizing that they have this happiness. Um, it's taking them a while to come to this conclusion because it wasn't anything, especially this love, wasn't anything that they had experienced before. And they had to go on this their own journey in order to understand this for themselves. It wasn't anything anybody could tell them, it wasn't anything anybody could show them. And this was their own journey of self-discovery, their own journey of ascension, just like you, divine feminines. It's almost like divine feminines, you haven't been doing this with your counterpart. It feels like you haven't been doing this with your counterpart because you were in separation, or maybe because your counterpart didn't want to recognize the connection, didn't want to recognize you, because you were triggering each other, because you weren't communicating, or because things were disharmonious. You know, it plays out in a number of different ways for everybody. But you guys weren't feeling like you were doing this together, even though in the higher realms, even though energetically you always were, it felt like you weren't doing this together. But what Spirit's saying is, in essence, you always were. In essence, you always were. But you had to go through your own journey, divine feminines, because you had to trust the energy, not what you were seeing or not seeing in your external world, not to rely on your external world, but you had to trust what was in yourself. You had to trust the love that you were feeling. You had to trust the love that you were receiving. You had to trust your own journey. Divine Masculine is going through that process now where they're learning how to trust their own journey. And as they're learning how to trust their journey, they're beginning to realize that their Divine Feminine has always been with them. And their Divine Feminine has always seen them as this lion, as this strength, as this regal king, for lack of a better word. The lion being that the king of the jungle. Is that what they call it? The king of the jungle? That's what they're bringing me. So the feminine always saw the strength of the masculine, but the masculine has had to discover that for themselves, and they truly are. It's actually quite interesting, the dualistic. Hey, Ruth. I didn't know I was channeling tonight either until an hour ago, so this is an impromptu session. We're doing things off the cuff tonight. Okay, so it's really an interesting dualistic perspective. Oh, and Ruth, before I forget, I sent you an email. Make sure that you check it. Okay, so it's an interesting dualistic perspective because what the divine feminine had experienced, the divine masculine is experiencing now. So I'm going to reiterate that the divine feminine, even though you guys always have been doing this together, the divine feminine has felt very alone on this journey, very isolated from her masculine, very rejected, very abandoned by her masculine. And that's part of what caused a lot of this pain. A lot of that, they're saying, has come in from past lifetimes where there was abandonment, where there was rejection, where there was neglect. And that carried through for that karma to be cleared. Remember, with twin flames, sacred partners, whatever you want to call it, counterparts, what happens is you trigger each other, but that pain is not from the two of you. It's from past pain that is being brought up to the surface to be cleared. with these divine counterparts, there will always be the energy of love. There will always be the energy of forgiveness underneath the surface. And nothing is ever done with cruel intent, purposeful cruel intent. There is never the intention of cruelty. That's what these divine counterparts are. It is pure unconditional love, but it can be so intense and it can be fraught with a lot of what looks like toxic energy and what might even feel like toxic energy because you're triggering past patterns, outdated beliefs, and pain within each other. It's like the wounded versions of each other are coming up to the surface. You're triggering that because you are each other's mirror, but you're bringing it up to the surface to clear. And along this journey, you grow, you expand, and that's what you do as counterparts. You help each other to grow and expand. Where do you need to have healthier boundaries? Where do you need to step into your place of self-empowerment? Where do you need to love yourself in a place where you're not abandoning yourself, where you are not betraying yourself, where you are honoring yourself, where you are stepping into your service, stepping into your mission, stepping into your purpose, where you are becoming the best version of yourself. That's what these counterpart connections really do. They uplift. It's a little bit different than soulmate connections. I am going to be running a Twin Flame Truths workshop where we're going to dive deep into all of these topics. But that's really what this journey is about. It is about your ascension. It is about your expansion and your growth. So, what's happening here is the divine feminine has felt very isolated on her journey because her masculine had to take a step back, especially in the physical. That was that separation in order for the feminine to really trust her own intuition, not the external world, which is the illusion, but to trust that she can create her own world, that she is self empowered, that she is sovereign, that she is healing codependency issues, that she can be her own person, that empress, that Nine of Pentacles energy. Divine masculine is going through that process now, where he might be feeling a little bit isolated from the divine feminine, but especially in the physical, again, going to your separate corners a little bit, but also recognizing that the divine feminine has been guiding him heart-centered from a heart-centered place all along. And so from that place, he's really learning how to honor the feminine both within himself that had been suppressed, suppressing the emotion, suppressing the self-expression, suppressing, honoring of any of that feminine energy within him. That's what he's been healing with this devil energy. He's healing those outdated beliefs, healing that suppression energy, healing that not being able to communicate the feelings because it was looked at as weak, especially in the society. So he's going through this process, and the feminine energy, as much as she is guiding him, she cannot show him. He needs to discover this for himself. This is his own process of self-discovery. Now, as sacred partners, you are the yin and the yang. You are that polarity, the masculine and the feminine, that the whole energy. We all, as souls, have both masculine and feminine energy within us. So, as sacred partners, you are the masculine or the feminine embodied as the core essence, but you have, again, both energies within you. So, what happens with that is the feminine comes into balance with both her masculine and her feminine energies, especially if she was in an over masculinated energy where she felt like she needed to do everything, where she felt like she couldn't receive, where she felt like she needed to control. What's happening there is she's learning how to step into her core essence as a divine feminine. On the other side, the masculine is learning how to step into their core essence as divine masculine by honoring the feminine again within them. And what happens then is the energy comes into balance, comes into harmony, and merges, and that's your inner and outer union. And the more you experience that inner union, the more you experience that outer union with a counterpart, with a partner. So the masculine is on their journey right now. They are on their going through their own process of self-discovery. Okay, that was a lot. That was a lot. I need to get a fan going. Hold on one second. It is hot in here. Okay. Whew. All right, let's get some more on the masculine right now. All right, more on the masculine. What's going on for the masculine right now? They're recognizing their strength, and they're recognizing, I feel like they're opening up to more joy. they're opening up to more happiness and the belief that they can be happy. They had been just, I'm hearing the words sucked dry. This could be from other people, this could be from life experiences, but they're really opening up to, hey, I don't have to live in my past. I don't have to repeat the past. I can be happy again. And I'm actually hearing the phrase forever onward, forever onward. I can be happy forever onward. That's their strength. That's them believing in themselves. That's this new version of themselves that is really anchoring in. I feel a little bit like they might teeter back and forth between this energy. So there might still be some toxicity that's being purged from their system, where they might, and when I say toxicity, it's distortions, right? It's old patterns, it's old beliefs, it's old mindsets. So just like you, divine feminines, you kind of go back and forth in this balance as you are going through your process of ascension. I feel like that might be what's happening for the divine masculines right now, where they might be, what I'm hearing is like the ego, they're clinging to the ego a little bit. So it's like they are holding on to perhaps like an old version of themselves, an old dream, an old belief, an old mindset. But they know that they're releasing that. And what I'm hearing is this full moon is a major, major shift, especially for the divine masculine collective, a major shift. Again, I just keep getting this turning point. So this is the full moon in Capricorn. There's this before and there's this after. This is where we are, and everything is after. Everything that comes next is the after. So it's really interesting energy coming through here for the masculines. All right, let's get more. Okay, so they're pointing me to these cards that we had pulled in the beginning. And now that we're a little bit deeper into the channeling, I'm starting to understand it a little bit better. So the boundaries card that we had pulled earlier, I feel like this is the divine masculine as well, that is recognizing that they are on their path, that they are on this ascension journey. They're becoming really consciously aware that they're on a spiritual journey, that they're on a journey of self-actualization.